a truly strong person, and secretly looks down on themselves. Sometimes, a person's most fatal weakness isn't failure, poverty, or humble origins, but underestimating themselves. Have you ever had moments like these? Someone makes a comment, and your first reaction is, "Are they talking about me?" An opportunity presents itself, and you instinctively feel, "I'm not qualified." Even after working hard, you still think, "Others can do it, but I probably can't." It's not that you lack ability. It's that you've already kicked yourself off the table in your own mind. Inferiority is often not just an emotion, but a posture toward yourself. The way you see yourself determines how the world will treat you. Every time you look down on yourself is one time you're giving up on your future. Those who truly turn the tables, rise from adversity, and keep leveling up, it's not because they were born excellent, but because they never secretly look down on themselves. You're not weak. You've just been too stingy with your imagination for yourself. 1. Inferiority isn't humility. It's chronic self-sabotage. In today's world, a kind of mild inferiority is becoming common. On the surface, it sounds like, "I'm not good enough yet. Let me prepare a little more." But at its core, it really means, "I'm not worthy. Maybe I don't deserve this." It doesn't shout or make a scene, but like a dull knife, it cuts away at you bit by bit every day. It makes you afraid to speak up on social media, afraid to voice your opinion in meetings, afraid to express yourself in relationships. You want to move forward in your heart, but your feet keep walking backward. You think you're being modest, but what's really happening is a hidden, self-negating force controlling you. Many people say they lack confidence, but it's not that they're incapable. They just gave up on believing in themselves too soon. There's a concept in psychology called internal devaluation bias. The less positively someone perceives themselves, the more likely they are to misinterpret external stimuli as personal attacks and keep reaffirming the belief that "I can't do it." That's why some people, even though they're capable, constantly set limits on themselves and mentally exhaust themselves. The most dangerous state for a person is when they train themselves into believing they don't deserve good things. 2. You're not too weak. You just have a starved imagination for yourself. Notice how the things you say to yourself are often harsher than what others say to you. You say, "I'm just unlucky. That's just the way I am. I'm not good at this." Every time you say these things, you're silently building a low version of yourself. And the subconscious is obedient. However you suggest it should shape you, it will. Why do some people seem unstoppable? It's not because they're smarter. It's because they never define themselves downward. In psychology, there's a famous theory called the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you can do it, your actions and efforts will naturally move in that direction. If you believe you can't, your brain will gladly cooperate to prove you right. The self-image you hold in your mind is the highest ceiling you'll ever reach. True confidence isn't narcissism or bragging. It's daring to imagine your own possibilities without stinginess. This isn't empty motivational talk. It's science. Your perspective determines the trajectory of your destiny. If you see yourself as an old, beat-up car, you won't get far. But if you see yourself as a submarine, you'll dare to dive deeper and venture further. 3. The truly strong always operate from a mentally elevated state. Many people think a strong person's aura comes from their achievements. But it's actually the opposite. Whether a person carries presence depends first on whether they discount themselves internally. Look at those people who somehow feel different. It's not always because they've succeeded more, but because they share a trait. They speak with conviction, express themselves fearlessly, and never bend over backward. Not because they're really that amazing, but because they refuse to live spiritually on their knees. This is what's called mental high ground operating mode. It's not blind optimism. It's the attitude of, even if I fall, I will never shrink in spirit. We often think modesty, restraint, and compromise are virtues. But excessive restraint is the beginning of self-shrinkage and character collapse. Remember, no one in this world will make way for your inner insecurity. The step you refuse to take, no one can take it for you. If you never lift your head, the world will only ever see your bowed face. The insecure person even wins with fear, while the confident person can lose with dignity. Live as a complete person, not as someone constantly patching up their insecurities. That's the highest state of personal mastery. 4. The turning point in life. When you stop underestimating yourself. When does a person truly start to grow? Not when they get a promotion, a raise, or achieve worldly success, but when they finally stop looking down on themselves. You can acknowledge your shortcomings, but don't so easily question your worth. You can accept failure, but never accept the belief that I'm not good enough. Psychologically, inferiority is a form of self-imposed identity limitation, and every real breakthrough begins with one thing: redefining who you are. Who are you? Not the labels others put on you. Not the scars of your past, and certainly not the forever discontent voice in your own head. Who you are is a new answer you have the right to write for yourself. Don't lock yourself in the prison of a low self-image. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be whole. And being whole means, I no longer seek a false sense of security by putting myself down. I am willing to look fate in the eye, and I refuse to bow in spirit to anyone. The biggest transformation often begins with a small sentence: I won't look down on myself anymore. Always remember, you're not good enough. You're just allowing yourself far too little. And in this lifetime, the highest form of discipline is to never secretly look down on yourself.